Hey there, expression number 11s. This is Destiny Digits. Let's go ahead and dig into your reading. And so the two cards at the top, the two white cards, are from my handmade deck. And these are actually both biblical characters. On the left, we have Naaman. On the right, we have Judas Iscariot. So Naaman is the only person in the Old Testament. The Old Testament are the beginning books of the Bible. And I believe those are the books that actually make up the Torah. But in that book, out of all the characters, Naaman is the only one healed from leprosy. And then we have Judas, such a contrast in characters. So Judas was the deceiver, the liar, the betrayer of Jesus, that for 30 pieces of silver planned Jesus's persecution. And so I think that in life, we all have a Judas moment, a Judas year, a Judas relationship, a job, an experience. Like we all can find a moment in time in our life where we felt like a person, place, or thing was dishonest to us. In another way that Judas is described is as being demon possessed, right? Being in his body, but not having control of his body. And so we've come across people like that. Sometimes that's who we are within ourselves. So this can be two aspects of energies that you're dealing with, but let's just go ahead and put you 11 in the position of Naaman. And I say we should put you in that position because of the oracle cards that have come out, but then also the world card, which talks about the ending of something and the beginning of something new. But this ending is major. The world card talks about going all around, completing a cycle, closing out a timeline. It talks about ending one thing and then leveling up or ascending to the next. And so it's not just one thing ends, another thing begins. Like, this is a big deal. Let's talk about your oracle cards. To the far left, 18 is on this card. 1 is about independence and 8 is about hard work. This card says your purpose is personal expansion. So we can stop there for a moment, 11. So your job is just to expand. It's not to attain anything specific. It's to fill up more of the world with you, to see how far you can stretch. And stretching is not always comfortable, but it's a beautiful thing to see how your extension grows, how far your reach has increased from one period of time to the next. The question that's asked of you is, how can you be more intentional with your choices and live with more purpose? And so our entire life is a collection of choices. Some we made, some were made against us, some, in front of us with our approval, some had no consent, but these were choices made that impacted our life. And so this is about, one, getting you to realize that no matter what life has been, right? And we'll call life leprosy. Sometimes life feels a bit like leprosy, right? It's something that is covering us and we can't take it off, and it just feels gross, disgusting. We don't understand it. Everybody can see it. Like, we kind of have those types of moments in life. But the world card, but then also the truth about Naaman being healed, I think that this talks about maybe, and because he's from the Old Testament, we can just talk about the fact that maybe there was a portion of your identity that once was, that no longer exists. So an aspect of you that maybe wasn't your finest hour has been healed. Something has closed out, and that can be energetically. But now that you've stepped in this new power that says, do you know what you're capable of? If your life is a collection of choices, then every choice you make is leading you somewhere. So don't forget that, and make sure that every choice is a reflection of your true purpose, your true path. Next, it says gratitude is the life force of peace. What are you thankful for? The numbers on the card are 4 and 1. 4 is about stability and foundation and consistency. 1, again, is about independence, being self-sufficient. Combined, we're talking about freedom, adventure, but also expansion, because that equals 5, and 5 is a number of growth, not stagnancy. And so you're talking about taking steps day by day hour by hour through your life, realizing that every choice you make, whether it's what I'm going to put in my mouth, what I'm going to listen to, what I'm going to watch, who I'm going to eat this meal with, who I'm going to sleep in the bed with, everything is a choice, and all of those choices should represent who you are authentically at your core. Okay? And so just looking at today, what are you thankful for today? Right? And it's that moment where you can say, I'm thankful for this. Well, then you have just brought about gratitude, and that prepares you for the tomorrow to come. That amps up the energy behind tomorrow to bring you more things to be grateful for. It's kind of like a never-ending cycle. And so again, now let's talk about Judas for just a second. So not only do we have Judas, but beneath Judas, we have the Knight of Swords. And that card is just, swords are about clarity. But listen, swords do two things. They can give you a breakthrough. They can bring truth and understanding, but swords are also weapons. And so they can pierce, they can wound. And so when information comes, it can give you an advantage, but it can also make you feel disadvantaged depending on how it's coming. And just talking about the speed of this, you can look that this is a card of movement, one of the fastest cards in the deck. And so this can talk about information coming at you quickly as this cycle is closed out. But in the event that this isn't information, this could be the energies of others as you close out this cycle. And so I think you're being asked to pour into the things that you're grateful for, and realize that any harshness, any Judas people, places, or things that you dealt with were a part of another time, but they are why you have your wisdom today. And all of those moments, those betrayers, people, places, and things that entered your space at any time was really a bringer of you towards your purpose. You couldn't have got to you without everybody and everything that got you wrong, right? Those failures were really pushing you in the direction and along the path that was most aligned for you. And so when you forget that, gratitude is your source of kind of powering up again. 11s, I hope this was helpful. Obviously, 11s, you are the seers, the visionaries. You are very therapeutic. And so it's important for you to understand the power in who you are, because as a master number, you are here not just for self, but definitely for others as a way shower, right? A light in the darkness. That's the energy that you carry and that you offer us in the world. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Take care.